What would you do if a plane just... Would you like say hi to the pilot?
Yeah. I believe in heaven and I believe in like the afterlife.
Insane. I would live forever if I got to see you for the rest of my life. Because that's like being in heaven.
I feel like you would die of something like really dramatic, like really iconic.
If there was a way to not die, would you just like do it? Welcome back to the podcast, the Out of Touch podcast, where I'm your host.
Welcome
and
back.
Sophia's also your host sometimes when she wants to be.
Hi guys, I'm Sophia LaCour and I am the host.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say. It's like, what? That's insane.
You always think I'm going to say the most insane things, and sometimes I do, and most times I don't.
The helicopter thing is going right by my apartment again.
It's freaking me out because it's like
a little freaky.
What
would you do if a plane just... Like, what would you do? And what if the building didn't fall and like it was just in here? And would you say hi to the pilot? Like parked. It like crashes and it just like hangs
and just like nothing's like
nothing fell. Well, like the window broke and my couch like moved a little bit.
Like a small plane or like
that
a real plane. That one?
Yeah.
I'm sure it would be a bit traumatic.
No, it would be.
I feel like I'm one of those kind of people that wouldn't ever panic in the moment of something really terribly horrible that could ever happen. And then I would never get over it again. Like I would be fine in the moment. And then like 2 hours later, I would never be the same person and never be okay. I would have like a panic attack every 4 seconds.
I feel like you would like think the pilot's hot and then like hit on him.
Wait, 100%. I'm like,
you'd be like, wow, you really just crashed that really
I'm like,
hard.
wow, you really just like survived that.
And he's like a scrape like red on his like cheek.
Yeah.
And it's like hot.
This is like probably really insensitive.
That's okay.
Yeah, I mean.
Everybody got mad about my drug things yesterday.
Oh, really?
Not everybody, but a few people.
What'd they say?
That I should not say these things because I have an impressionable audience and da-da-da-da-da.
You're not their...
I'm tired,
You're not their dad.
I'm not their dad.
You're not.
And it's like, I am well above age to be doing these things. And you don't
even say anything bad.
I don't. I'm just saying that like alcohol is bad for you and so is other drugs. But if you want to do other drugs, you can do other drugs.
Yeah. Like we're not telling you what to do. We're just telling you that we wouldn't judge you.
This thing has gone around my apartment 18 times. They're getting closer.
It made me a little nervous when it just started pointing and going directly at us for a second.
Sometimes helicopters go like right by my window.
Yeah, no, that would make me a little nervous. I would be like a little nervous.
Remember the time there was a earthquake?
Yeah.
And you were like, I thought I was gonna die.
No, I was like, is it weird that everything in my apartment's just shaking? Like horribly shaking. Like everything was shaking. My TV was going like.
Can you believe I didn't experience it at all? I was in the elevator.
No, I can believe that you didn't experience it.
Like,
it's something like you wouldn't experience.
I wouldn't. It's just like not my style.
Yeah, it's like really like not for you.
Like that's why I don't live in California. It's just like I don't think earthquakes are like my vibe.
Yeah, it's not your vibe to like experience an earthquake. Yeah, like it's like kind of my vibe. Like it's kind of like it's kind of one of those things that like it would happen and I'm just like, oh.
Your vibe is to like get into like a really bad like boating accident, but like not be hurt.
Yeah, and like have like police officers cover me in a blanket because I'm in a bikini.
Some police officer like hands you his jacket and you're like wearing like a big police officer jacket and
yeah.
you're like in a little bikini top.
Yeah.
And you have like one scrape.
So true. And my vibe would be like I jump off the boat and that was like a stupid decision. Like I should have stayed on the boat and like swam. And then I get out of the boat and I'm like perfect amount of like wet.
How do you want to die?
I don't really.
Like if there was a way to not die, would you just like do it? Like would you just live forever?
Does my body get like older? Like really, really old? Or like what's the age I stop at?
80.
I stay at 80?
Yeah.
Can I stay at like
no.
Like a healthy 80 or like a normal like an 80?
Like you have some like joint problems, but you're like still.
Yeah, I would for sure live if I had a choice to live.
Really? Forever?
Not forever is a lot. What about you?
I would live forever if I got to see you for the rest of my life, because that's like being in heaven.
I didn't even know where to go from here. That's how I feel about you because I love you so much, and I don't think I'll ever meet anyone that I love more.
Do you know that one of us is gonna die before the other?
Well, I feel like I die of a broken heart.
Do you think you would die like a week later after me?
Yes.
Do you think I'm gonna die first? And how do you think I'm gonna die? Isn't it crazy we're all gonna die?
Yeah, I think that. I think it's like such a wonderful thing. It's like I believe in heaven and I believe in like the afterlife, and I believe like it's kind of exciting that I don't know how to put this in words. It's kind of like exciting and scary that like we have like a beautiful life, and I'm grateful to be here, but it's also like so short. So like live in the moment, but also like I don't know, like it's crazy. It's just weird.
So how do you think I'm gonna die?
I feel like you would die of something like really dramatic, like really iconic, like or hopefully old age.
Dying of old age just feels like a little bit like tacky.
I would have like a mysterious death.
It's like if I'm gonna die, which I'm going to, it's like maybe make it a little cute. Like maybe make it like a story. Maybe make it like
no, yours would definitely have a story for sure. Like there would be a lot of like stories behind it, and there would be like a set story, and every detail would be known, like proven fact. And mine would be the same way, except nothing's proved. Like it'd be super mysterious.
Wait, but that's kind of sad for me. What if I die after you, and then I have to like figure out your story like for years, and I'm just like my whole life is devoted to like Sophia's like how did she get murdered?
Scary, yeah.
It's kind of hot though.
It kind of is hot.
And then I read a book.
Yeah.
And I put like a drawing of your face on there.
Yeah. Would you write a book about me?
Yes.
I would write a book about you too.
Are you kidding? I would go into so much
journaled
detail.
About you.
Oh my god. That's so hot. Would you write a song about me?
I already have. I write like poems and songs and journals. Oh my god, I'm like TMI, like shut up. Like I have a journal and I write
really
everything
embarrassing.
in it. No, it's like kind of like that was like for me. Like did I just tell everyone that? That's so embarrassing.
You've like cut it out.
Yeah, like that was like literally like that was like my secret.
Anyways, I want to talk more about dying.
Okay.
I think
God forbid anyone.
We should dive into that today.
Okay, God forbid. But did you like think of this on the spot?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I think the plane like really like.
Yeah, I know. The
was
plane
what happened.
really like, and I also live right next to the 9/11 memorial, so like really put into like perspective,
it's
like
like a
wow,
yeah.
that plane could just go into this building right now, and just I'm dead.
And
I think about that stuff a lot. I'm just like I could walk across the street.
That's what I think
dead.
about too. I'm like, oh my
Anything.
gosh, like thank God. Like, because there could be a freak accident at any time, which is like the scariest thing ever.
I know. Anytime. And like, especially getting in cars, like your chances of dying in a car accident are like really high.
And nobody's scared to get in a car, but some people are like scared of the ocean because they're like sharks. I'm like, that's not
going to happen.
That's not going to happen. You know?
And then they don't put their seatbelt on.
Yeah. They're like, I'm scared
Humans
of sharks.
are so cute.
No, I know, aren't they?
They're so cute, like how illogical they are. Like,
yeah.
It's like you could tell somebody a fact and be like, no. Like your likelihood of dying in this situation versus this one. Like I'm a little bit scared of flying, but I know it's like the most illogical thing.
Yeah.
Because like the chances of me dying in an airplane are like almost zero.
Yeah.
But I'm still have that like idea of like what if, and then you like get in a car with strangers and Ubers every day who are definitely like drunk sometimes and definitely high. Like when you're going home from like a club at 3 a.m. and that Uber driver picks you up, you know that they're either like sleep deprived or high, or they just woke up and they're a little bit like tired.
Yeah.
You know, like they're doing
and
like
then
the
also,
night
like,
shift.
You're like tipsy drunk and you're in a car with a
random guy.
Sleep-deprived random guy.
I wonder
Like
if they
you
do
get
background
into a metal
checks.
box with a random like animal.
And you can't get out. Like they could take you anywhere.
That's how I feel about elevators. I'm like, I'm getting in a elevator, like a closed metal box that's like on like a chain, hanging by a chain, and then like,
and somebody like
with
inspected it
with like a random grown man.
No, I know.
Oh, did you see that?
No,
thing?
I think about that all the time. No, I didn't see that thing you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
But I do think about this all the time when I'm on the elevator and I get in and it's like a little box and this door closes and I'm just standing with this stranger.
Yeah.
In silence for a little while sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what are we doing in here?
Did you see that like question on TikTok where it was like, would you rather be trapped with a bear or a man? And everyone's like, like
bear?
a random man or like a bear. And everyone's like, I actually was like probably like, I mean, I guess a random man.
A random man.
Yeah,
Anyways,
but like I don't know. I like kind of like I see the bear part a little bit.
I also think that this topic came into mind because I saw this woman who works at SeaWorld. Actually, this happened a long time ago, but she works with killer whales and does like shows with them, which like obviously they're gonna kill you at some point. And so the story was like the whale like took her arm and then like brought her underwater and just like kept her in his mouth until she died. And like I hate that for her. No, but I also like
that was like so rude. But like also like,
why are you jumping on whales?
I feel this way about absolutely everything everyone does. Like I think.
Like, why?
Like, I'm going to F1 next week, and...
I'm not.
So sorry. And I think, like, these grown men, right, are getting in a car and driving over 250 miles an hour and passing each other with an inch of room on each end.
I know.
Does that not sound like could you think of a dumber thing to do?
I love humans that just like don't care about dying. They're the best kinds of humans.
I know.
Like they're so fun to watch and like just like they like do whatever.
You need a friend like, in every group that's like
boxers too.
You
like
never know.
You just like go into a ring knowing that you're gonna get your face smashed in.
That's what I'm
saying. For what? There's so many other things you can do.
For what? It's crazy.
Like imagine like purposely getting hurt. Like,
I guess
I just don't get that.
I don't really get it either.
I mean, I guess it's like, is it for the money or is that just like a true passion?
I think it's a true passion. There's no way that they like, I guess they like started fighting when they were young and just get after it. Like, I don't get it. I was also watching a movie last night about football and I was like, these guys are just like putting on little matching outfits and butting heads over and over and they get seriously injured for life. They're like I like they have like serious injuries and I'm like what for
I guess they're just not really like they're probably not thinking about it as deep as we are.
I guess someone's gotta do it.
They're like I'm fine with I'm fine if I die at a young age from like a concussion or like I don't know how you whatever, but I don't know if they care.
I mean, I guess like men used to like hunt like
each other.
No, like for food. So I guess when you compare it to that, football is like not that big of a deal.
Men used to do duels.
Yeah, men used to fight to the death.
That's crazy.
Why can't everyone just relax?
I watched Bridgerton and they do duel. They did like a duel at one point and they just stand there and they're like they try to like kill each other first. Isn't that crazy? Just because like the guy kissed his sister.
Like for what? Wait, why can't people just like relax a little bit?
It's like a lot. It's like I think because social media didn't exist and like they were just like going at it. And like you don't get arrested. You like nobody really cared about murder.
I guess. I can't wrap my head around this one.
People live such different lives.
People are so
cute. I don't think people know how cute they are.
Isn't it crazy? Like we all like have our own body and mind and we're just all living in each other's world and living simultaneously.
Isn't it crazy we're all related? We all came from probably one person or multiple people. I mean, like we're all related in some way.
Kinda, yeah.
It's impossible for us not to be related. It's just like billions of years worth of like family trees. Like you could trace everybody back to one thing, but it just would be like the most insane like tree ever.
We're all just human.
We're all connected and we're all human and we all have like the same genetic makeup in a lot of ways.
Yeah. And isn't it crazy? Like people care so much about like little teeny tiny things and I'm like,
you're a speck.
I'm like, you look at like we could look down and like there are like people in all of these windows.
Outside the window, there's probably a million people that we're looking at.
Right. And they all have like a completely different life. Like that pilot
and we're
that
just
helicopter,
over here just like making a podcast.
Yeah.
Fuck this shit.
Let's go. Let's get out of here. So what do you think, like if you could do anything possible right now, like what would you do in your life? Like right this second with this weekend, like since like life is
this
just
is the thing. I don't know.
like I kind of just like I like enjoy
I would probably
sitting
just
here with
lay
you more
here.
than anything.
Yeah, like I would just like sit here with you.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like, oh, I want to go to like this place.
Yeah,
I
no.
don't want to go.
No.
I actually would rather just have a second to think
Yeah.
and not do anything.
Yeah. I look forward to being here on this couch with you every single week. And that's like the highlight of my life.
You're the
and also
highlight of my
another
life.
highlight of my life is going home and hanging out with my parents and family.
Uh-huh.
And it's so crazy. Like life could be so chaotic, but then the simplest things can make you the happiest version of yourself. So it's like,
I'm in love with you.
kiss me then.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
I think for so many years I thought like traveling and work and all these things would like bring so much happiness, but like really I just like chilling.
Yeah.
Like I think that I'm just like I want to chill.
Right. And sometimes I'm reading a book and I realize that like a book is like a different, you're like getting into a different life by reading a book, and it's like you could live a million different lives by like reading different books. And whenever I read a book I like think it's me, and then like I'll like act a certain way until I read a different book.
Isn't it crazy that reality is just whatever you make up in your head?
Yeah. Isn't it crazy like somebody's like worried about a guy that treats them like shit, and then like you could just like literally live a different life if you want, like move to Arkansas and like start like being a different person.
I think a lot of humans forget that you can just like drop everything.
Yeah, I think a lot of humans forget
Not that like everybody has money to just drop everything, but like you can always find a way to like get another, like you can always figure out
yeah.
a solution. Like you can always, there's always a way. If you really wanted to like live in New York City, you can live in New York City.
No,
like I mean you can do it for like probably
there's a way.
a few $100s a month in rent somehow. Like you can live in like a hostel or something. I don't know.
100%.
Whatever you want to do.
If there's
but
a will, there's a way.
there's a way. Like people are like, I can't move to New York City. It's so expensive. I'm like, well, it can be expensive, but you can also do it for nothing.
Yeah, if there's a will, there's a way. If you want to do something, there's nothing that you can't do. It's all in your head.
I thought about that yesterday, and that's why I texted you to go to Miami, because I was like, I could just go to Miami right now.
Yeah, and that's why I'm going to Florida today.
But then I was like, but I don't want to. I was like, I could. And
No,
like,
I was
like,
when we were texting, I was like, we should, and then I was like, like
it's just like a lot of work, because I have to like buy a ticket, I have to like find a hotel, and then I have to like get to the hotel, and then I have to like check in, and then I have to like make plans, and then I have to like go out, and then I have to get outfits, and then I have to do all these things,
Yeah,
which I
and
don't technically have to do, but like if we were to go together, like you would want to go out and do things, and so would I probably. But like if I go by myself, it'd be kind of boring, because like I wouldn't want to do that either. And then I started thinking, and I was overthinking, and I was like, no, I'm not want to go anywhere.
You overthink so much, and I love that about you. Like, if I go to Florida tonight, I would just put clothes in a bag and call it a day.
Can they just meet us in Miami? Let's go to like
Why
the
don't you just
Edition.
come
Let's
to
go to
Miami
South
next
Beach.
weekend? Because I'm going to be there anyway.
Since we could just die tomorrow.
Since like
If
nothing
we got on a
is
Boeing
real.
747 or whatever those planes are, we could just die tomorrow.
Yeah, no, like it's crazy how freak accidents can happen all the time, and like we're so lucky to be here right now. Like I feel so lucky that I'm with you.
I feel so lucky that I'm here in this moment with you.
I always try to think about that when I'm in a moment. I'm having a lot of like, I'm like excited. I kind of try to think like, I'm really grateful for this moment right now. And also like tomorrow's just like an idea, and yesterday was the past, and it's like yesterday's a thought and tomorrow's an idea, and today is the only thing that really is happening.
Unless you're hungover, then it kind of like carries on to the next day. And which I don't like that. Like, see, this is the thing. It's like sometimes I'm like, well, I'm gonna die, and then I'm like, well, then let me do what I want to do right now. And then oftentimes it involves drinking.
Yeah.
And then I like go out, and then I'm like, well, that was really fun, but now I'm gonna have to regret it all tomorrow. And that's what I don't enjoy.
Right. So do you think we should go sober?
I don't think I'm ready for that yet.
No, is drinking just like an escape of reality, and we just are continuously wasting
I think that
life?
for right now in my life, while I'm like still working as hard as I am, I need an escape. Yeah. I think once I stop working, I won't want to drink. It's not like I drink often, like it's maybe once a week, but
yeah.
I think like because I'm always so on it, and like I'm having to think so much, that I like need an escape from thinking, and like the only way I can do that is with like alcohol.
Once I have children, I'm probably never
yeah,
again.
once I have once I have a little more calm time, and like I can actually like think and like do my meditation and like feel refreshed all the time, and like get get good sleep every single night and not have to like work late hours, that's when I think I'll be okay with like not drinking.
Yeah, I think that when I do stuff now, I think that there's going to be a moment in my life, or like the majority of my life, hopefully, is going to be me with my husband and my children. And I'm going to be so busy and have so much stuff to do and like running after these like little children that it's like I'm grateful for my singleness and like drinking and going out and being able to do like basically whatever I want. Not that I wouldn't be able to do that with kids, but like my life would be like for my kids instead of like for just me. So like I just like go out and drink and have fun with the girls and the gays.
Isn't it funny that like you raise your kids to like 18?
My mom's still
They're
raising
like-
me. Like I called her today and I was like, wait,
Yeah, but your kids might not be like that.
if they're not like that, I'm gonna get a new one. I'm gonna just send them off and get a new one.
Like I left my house at 19 and never looked back.
Yeah, no.
Never like visited like once a year maybe.
I think about how lucky I am that my parents and I and my brothers are so close that that's the reason I want to have kids, so I could give that to people.
I think really highly of myself when it comes to like if I were to be a parent, because I have so many like ideas and like ways I would raise a kid.
I know that you
think
would
are
be the most
very
amazing father
progressive,
ever.
but I don't think I want to do it. Like I think that I have too much to offer a child. Like I know that I would be like so there for them and like so like their best friend, and I would know that I would be so open to anything, because like sometimes growing up my parents weren't open to like hearing about things, and I would hide shit, and then it would create this relationship that I was hiding things all the time, and I'm like, I never want that for my kid. Like I don't want to hide anything. I don't want them to hide anything from me. I don't care if you're doing drugs, you're having sex, you're whatever, like just tell me and like we'll move past it.
Yeah, I think that you would be such an amazing father, and I think that not only are you like really easygoing and cool, but you also have like you overthink and like you think about every detail, but you don't overthink to the point where it's stupid. Like you think about what could go wrong, what could go right, and then you like weigh out the decisions.
But that's also the thing with having a kid. It's like I'm gonna be overthinking everything. Like I would be the parent that's like scared when they go out. I would have to let them out and like have to let them party on weekends, because I would be like, that's like your time, like you go do it. Like I don't care if you might get arrested, like I'll bail you out, whatever. But the idea of like them being out and me not knowing where they are and like what car they're getting into and what drugs they're doing and like all that stuff is really scary. And like I just don't know if I want to put that stress on my life. Like that would be such an immense stress.
Right.
For so many years, if they're anything like me.
Right. But like, would those times of stress be worth it for the times of happiness? Because you'll have like triple, quadruple the amount of happiness versus stress. Because I feel like
I have like a lot of like, I'm like mentally fucked up too. So like, I don't want to give a kid that.
Yeah, but compared to the like fathers that you could have, you would be the best thing that has ever happened to anyone. Like the way you treat Saya, your dog, is telling like, I think that you would have a child and see the child and be like, this is a million times that you never knew that you could have a love. It
feels weird, the idea of like putting something into this world that didn't choose to be here. Like that's crazy to me. Like I don't know if I would be like, yeah, birth me.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm like grateful for every day that I'm alive. So like I'm grateful that I was placed on this planet, and I'm grateful that you're here as well. And I don't think my life would be the same. So it's like, why wouldn't you want to give that greatness to someone else?
I don't think I'm as grateful as you.
Okay. And that's okay.
If I was living like your life and like comfortable with like living, like not being a CEO and like not like pushing everything to the extreme like I do, like I'm like everything I do has to be like, you know how I am, just like perfectionist times 10. I think I would love to live your life with your mind, but I can't live your life with my mind.
Wow, that's deep. I think maybe that's why we were brought together on this earth. We're yin and yang.
I would be so much happier. I don't know if I could just like relax.
Yeah.
Because like I could be in a constant healthy mental state if I wasn't like pushing myself so hard. But I also like love pushing myself really hard. So it's a weird battle of like, do I am I pushing myself too hard, or is this like actually what I'm passionate about? And usually it is what I'm passionate about, but I don't know. I also just like overthink everything. You know that.
Yeah, but it's beautiful the way you overthink. And that's why I know you love me, because whenever you say you love me, I'm like, I love you more. And then I'm like, you definitely thought about that for a long time. Like you definitely like actually thought about it. That's why like I know you mean it when you say it, because I'm like, you definitely thought about it.
I'm trying to think less. I think I said in the last episode that I read a book about not thinking and just like living and just going with your gut.
Yeah.
On everything, and I've been doing that a lot more. And I don't know if it's like working or anything. I don't know if it's like bettering my life, but I think it's freed up a lot of like thinking for myself. If I'm like contemplating little things like, do I want to go to this party? I'm just like, what's the first thing that comes to my head? No or yes or no.
Yeah.
And then I just like, no, okay, I'm not gonna go. But that's really hard because I'm like, well, let me weigh out the pros and cons. But it's like not about that. Like, I need to stop doing that. If I don't want to go, just say no. And if I do, then go. Like, I don't know. Every decision though is like a painful like. Yeah. Like, what am I gonna get out of this? Why am I going? What am I doing there?
I just think like, is Brad going? Yeah, I want to be with Brad. Or like,
I'm in love with you.
Am I gonna get a drink thrown at my face?
Probably not.
And then sometimes I'm like, I probably will, and I won't go there then. But I don't think like more than 10 seconds about it. I just think about all those things in 10 seconds. And then if I start thinking too much, I'm like, just stop. Like about anything. If I'm like, oh my gosh, like what if I never get married and have kids? And then I'm just like, can you shut up for 7 seconds?
Don't be mean to yourself, Sophia. You're kind of mean to yourself.
Yeah, but I think that's what makes me better. You can't judge yourself because you can't think clearly about yourself, I feel like. Or not you, but like just me. Sometimes I'm just like, ew. Or sometimes I'm like, okay, slay. Like, and I don't know, I can't really think clearly, but I feel like it's good that I have like the both ends of the extreme, because then I have a middle ground at one point.
I told you this the other night, but I was listening to some podcasts and she was like, you know, people say really awful things to themselves, like, you're an idiot, like, oh my God, you're so ugly. And then she was like, what would you do if your best friend said those things to you?
Right.
And I was kind of like,
I would never talk to them again.
Yeah, and you were like, I would never talk to them again.
Yeah.
But then you say it to yourself.
Yeah.
But I also say it to myself, and I know that's bad. But that kind of put it into a little bit more perspective of like, okay, what if somebody was saying that to my face?
Yeah.
And it probably makes me feel worse saying it to myself, because it's like, I know myself so well, and then I'm like completely judging my own character, and it's like, why am I not just like easier on myself?
Right. And also, you're the only person that has to live with yourself for the rest of your life, so why are you talking to yourself like that?
Isn't it crazy? We just like, we got these like orifices to like our brain goes into, and then we like see out of these eyes, and then like, you're not your body, your mind, and your body is just like a puppet for your mind. Don't you feel like you're like living, you're like in your head, but you're not in your body? Do you ever feel like that? Yeah. Like your mind is up here, so like your whole like being is up here. And then these are just like extremities that like just like move when you want them to, but like it's not really you.
I actually feel like I used to feel like that, and then I felt like once I connected my body and brain.
Oh, maybe I'm not connected.
No, I feel like, I swear this is like crazy, but I feel like I connected like my body and brain as one. So like I could like move the way I think and feel rather than like.
That's why you're so sexy.
No, I think that's why. I think that's why, because it's like all a flow and an energy that's like all created through like my body and mind and like everything.
I never thought about this.
I never
went too
deep
into
we like
this.
Must sound like we are like high as a kite. Like we are
well
high.
Did you like your drink that I made?
Actually, this is kind of off topic maybe.
Oh, I'm scared. You're gonna bring us off topic.
No, I saw a video of one of my friends actually.
That's the craziest thing you've ever done.
I know, I can't believe you did that.
She just balanced water on the couch.
I saw a video of my friend. She like accidentally drank like a CBD drink or something and was like super duper high. And I was like, I would accidentally do that. Like I would just not know that makes you like high. I like, what would that be for? Also, I bought one of those at Erewhon because I went to Erewhon like a year ago by accident. I don't know. That's really not my place, by the way. And it said like CBD in it, and I was like, oh, that's weird. I had a couple sips of it, and I was like, ew, like tastes like deer. Like what? But
anyway, Sophia, your ADHD is insane.
Sorry.
Body and mind.
It's all connected. Yeah.
It's all one, but is it really?
No, it doesn't have to be.
You can take your arm off, and you still Sophia. Can't take your head off.
Right.
Isn't that kind of weird?
I mean,
you can't just relocate your brain into like your arm.
Yeah, but you could just think differently. Like you just completely change your thought process.
If you cut off your head? What?
No, like you could just think differently. Like you can cut off your arm, your arm's not there, but like you could just like also just think completely different.
What does that mean?
Like your outlook on life could completely change, like from a 180. Like you could have a negative outlook on life and be like really sad and depressed and not get out of bed, or you could be the most motivated, amazing human being possible, and it's all up to your thought process. So it's just think different, just think better.
How do I connect my body to my mind, Sophia?
I think you just have to love yourself.
Fuck.
You do love yourself.
People always say that, and like every self-help podcast and book is like, connect with yourself, love yourself, and I'm like, I'm fucking trying.
Yeah,
like I don't know how much more I can do.
Yeah,
to just like block out how I naturally am, which is like a little bit like snarky to myself. Like every time I do it, I'm like, oh Brad, like that's not nice. Like don't say that about yourself. Like don't say you're ugly. Don't say you're this. Don't say you're that. But it still comes up.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I just feel like it's really fucking hard to love yourself for some people.
Yeah.
You can't relate, but like.
No, I know it's really hard. It is really hard. Sometimes I like look in the mirror and I'm like, ew.
No, sometimes Sophie doesn't want to go out because she thinks she's ugly.
Literally horrible. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, okay. But then once I leave the house, I'm like, okay, just think differently. If I'm not feeling
Once
it.
you leave the house, it's easy. Because then it's like I can't get changed again.
Yeah,
I can't do my hair differently.
Like you just spent all that time doing that.
I'm in this wardrobe and like I'm going to just live with it. It's really easy once you leave your house. It's like before you leave the house though, it's like really difficult.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You just keep looking in the mirror and you're like, okay, like I could do this, I could do that and this. But like once I leave, I just decide this is what I look like and I have to just rock with it. Also, you get what you get and you don't get upset. So I think like, oh, if I want to be, sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was this. And I'm like, you shouldn't be comparing yourself to people all the time. And like the only reason you think you should be taller and thinner is because you're looking at Instagram too much. Like you're looking at all these supermodels too much.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you get what you get and you don't get upset and you have to just rock with whatever you have. And if there's something you can change and you want to change it. But if you can't change it, change your attitude about it.
But like easier said than done.
Easier said than done.
So many things in life are easier said than done. It's like you can watch these like TED Talks and you can read these books and stuff. But then it's like in practice, it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
This shit's hard. And not just hard. It's like I've done things for like a year at a time, like meditated and like positive thinking for a year. And then a week I'll slip up. And I'm back to my normal, like back to how I am naturally. And it's like, holy shit, the whole year. Yeah. And I just slip back in 1 week.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like about self-help.
Like, I guess you have to like find something that you truly love and like stick with that like helps you mentally be stable. You're mine. Also, God is mine. I've always had.
Okay. We don't have to bring God into what I am.
No, I know.
I am your God.
You are my man. You are what God presented to me as a gift.
I think that my friends are like...
you have really great friends.
My like way of living a good life. Like I don't really gravitate towards relationships as much as other people. And I don't depend on them for my happiness or contentment. And like, I don't know. I always find it weird to like... rely on somebody else for anything that much. I do that with my friends more. I don't rely on them for like tasks or like help, physical help, but like I rely on them to be like a happy person in my life that like brings joy. Yeah,
that's really sweet and really kind.
That's why I love you so much.
I love you more. You have really we'll be right back. You have a really, really wonderful taste in people and humans, and I think it's really impressive that you have so many great friends. Like we went out in Williamsburg last week with all of your friends, and it was me and a bunch of gay guys, and it was like obviously the best possible scenario for me. And every single person is such a wonderful human being. They're so fun. Every single person lights up the room in a different way, and it's really, really incredibly impressive to me that you're capable of finding that many amazing people and bringing all of us together.
I agree.
And you have great taste in people.
I would say the same to you, but sometimes your taste is a little questionable.
You're so right. I like try so hard.
Like you always have influencer girly friends.
I'm just like nice to everyone, but like friends with no one.
The influencer girls are tough.
Right. I have like my acting school friends. You should meet them.
I got really off topic a little. Well, I guess there is no topic, but dying was the first topic we were talking about.
Should we like be funny? Like
yeah, we've been very serious.
we've been really serious.
Ew. I hate when we get too serious.
I feel like we should go back to like dying because that was funny. Like if you wanted to die, like how would you do it? And I was like, I don't really want to. I'm not quite sure. It kind of made me a little concerned for you.
No, I don't want to die either, and it kind of annoys me that I don't want to, because I'm like, why is it that big of a deal? Like, why can't I just like risk things?
Right.
Like, why do I care about dying? I'm not gonna know I died.
Right. I'm not necessarily like scared of dying at all. I think I'm more scared of like not living. Like I know that sounds like really cringy, but like I don't know, because like I don't know, I can't explain it.
You're scared of not living.
Yeah, because like everybody dies, but not everybody lives. Like
it's a mystery.
Live life to the fullest. I don't know.
I also think if we like knew what happens when you die, then we would all just be like killing ourselves.
Oh my gosh.
Or if it was not good, we would be like all mortified of dying. I mean, for me, I just think you're just dead. Like that's it. It's not like a big deal. It's like you just think you're just dead. Like you don't exist.
Right.
And so that's it.
Right. I kind of hope that my beliefs are correct, but I kind of feel like whatever you think is going to happen after you die is what is going to happen for you. Mm-hmm. Like if you think like you get to like go like skip in on a different planet or something, like then that's what happens to you. I kind of think like whatever everyone thinks happens is what will happen to them. Like so I think I'm going to go to heaven and see everyone I've ever loved, and like that's what I think might happen for me.
But then what happens after that?
Eternal life of happiness, I would think.
God, see, like the whole idea of there being like a heaven is mortifying to me. Like I would never want to go to heaven.
Really?
Yeah. Like that's even scarier than living on Earth. Like the eternal anything. Like what? Why would you want to always be happy? Don't you want to feel an emotion?
No, I try to always be happy.
Like if you're already happy,
I just feel like
living,
the level of happiness will be something that's unimaginable to me right now.
Humans always want more, don't they?
I don't necessarily want more. I want to live my life as long and as healthy and happy as possible while I have this time on Earth. But I know, like, at one point, I don't know.
These are the things I'm jealous of you. That you can just be content with that idea.
Right.
Like I've put so much thought into these things that
I think about them. I probably just as much as you have, but I think about them through a different light than you do.
Maybe.
No, definitely.
Like if you're just like what are you doing in so-called heaven? Like you're just sitting there, like you're like playing chess.
I just imagine
like reading a book,
whatever
like what
you want,
and it looks the same as this.
I kind of imagined like more like clouds.
Like it's always clouds. Like that's so
like,
random. Like why clouds?
Like, I don't know. I imagine it to be like fairy tales and butterflies. Like every beautiful book I've ever read and times a million.
But that's just like your heaven, right? Like everybody has a different version.
I don't actually know. I've never actually like thought about what it would look like. So I'm kind of interested as to.
Never thought about what it would look like.
I never thought about.
That's like the first thing I've ever thought about.
Like what's the aesthetic? What's the
vibe?
Thought about like.
But I guess if it's your heaven, then like you believe in heaven, then it would look like your heaven. It would look different for every person.
Maybe.
Like I wouldn't want to live in your heaven. I would want to live in like a more like tropical environment.
Interesting.
Yeah. And like I'm sure somebody else would want to live in like a New York City environment.
I never thought about what it would look like. I thought about like who I would see and how I would feel once I saw them.
Imagine seeing
I want to meet Marilyn Monroe.
Wait, but so like everybody who's ever existed on Earth is living there? Where are they all staying? Or like you can just like they pop up when you like want to see like Marilyn Monroe, they pop up? Like,
I don't know.
How it would work?
What if heaven is just Earth with no evil? So what if it's just exactly where we are?
Everybody who's ever existed is living here now, like in heaven? Because you're saying like everybody who's ever died, you would see them there?
If I wanted to, I think.
And they would like appear?
I guess.
Okay.
I've never thought about what it would look like and how it would
The logistics?
I never thought about like the conversations I would have. I just I just expect like yeah.
I think about the logistics of it.
Yeah.
Like where are they going to be?
I don't know. They're just wherever. It doesn't matter. Like it's
Where are they
just,
gonna go?
everything's easy. There's no evil.
And you like
there's no pain.
you like relearn life, or it's just like pre-programmed, like because you're not like, I don't think there's like,
I just think
there's
it's
no,
like
like-
our spirits are up there. Not like it would just
but you're
be
not
our
like
mind.
you're not like you. You're just like a version of yourself. Because like if you had your whole brain, your whole Earth brain,
like my
that
soul.
wouldn't be possible because you would have to be like reprogrammed to be happier. So like you wouldn't have your Earth brain anymore.
I just would think there's like no difficult things.
Yeah, but they'd have to like wipe your brain of every difficult thing you've ever happened in your life. And then
No,
you
like
wouldn't
you know how we
remember
were
all the
talking about like
pain.
mushrooms and you're like you could smell colors. Like I think of it like that.
Like but you had to like change your mind. They would have to like alter it.
Yeah, but like I think that it's more so changing the environment.
But you would still have the pain. Like if somebody's depressed on Earth and they go to heaven, then what happens?
I think
they get wiped of all the depression.
Yeah, I think you just get
They get like
cleared.
reprogrammed.
You know when like people say they go to confession and they're cleared of all their sins. Like it's that times like a billion to me. I just expect it to like be like cleared of everything.
And
I
then, like-
never thought of like what it would look like. That's,
like are you going
silly.
to the are you peeing in heaven?
I just think that
Like
there's
is there like
nothing,
plumbing?
There's nothing you don't have to like think anything through or care. Like I just like is there
Like
plumbing?
like is there like are you peeing?
Maybe that's the rain.
Do you drink water?
I don't.
Do you eat?
I'm sure I eat.
Does the food just like disappear once it goes in your body?
I don't.
Because like there's not people like there's no like plumbers working. There's no like chefs.
I never thought about like if I assumed that I would have like just my soul and energy, and then like I would like kind of think I had like my same body, and I don't know. I didn't like think.
Like if you went into like a shuttle, would you end up in heaven at some point, or is it just a non-existent place?
I think it's like in a different realm. Like I don't necessarily think that it's existing. Like I think it's in a different realm.
How do you get there?
You just appear there. What do you think would happen?
What?
Like
When I
what's
die?
your idea of heaven? What it would look like?
I don't believe
when
in
you
it.
die.
I haven't. I just die.
Okay, so
Like my body just is not existent.
Okay,
It's like when you like go to sleep at night, like
And
you're
you
not
just-
existent anymore.
and you just like you're
Like
just,
you know how you don't remember, like unless you have a dream, you don't remember sleeping. That's what I imagine dying being like.
Okay, so dark and cold.
You don't remember you remember closing your
I close
eyes,
my
but you don't
eyes.
remember like the actual when you're fully asleep. You have no idea.
Yeah.
Anybody could be in your room, in your house, and anything could be happening in the world, but you have no idea unless you actively look at something. You don't know what's going on, so like nothing exists. Time doesn't exist when you're sleeping. It's really like a form of being dead in my eyes.
We have very different views of this.
But like that's not sad to me. It's not like that. I enjoy that idea of like of I don't necessarily enjoy it. I don't like, to me it's just not anything to look forward to or not to look forward to. It's just like there.
Yeah.
It's just like it's just like it's nothing.
Interesting.
I know.
I like don't look forward to anything or not look forward to it. I just like assume one day it's gonna happen and like take my time and like be grateful for the time that I do have on earth because it's so short compared to like eternal life. So like my first 20 years of life was 20 years, and then like my first 20 years of life in eternal life is like the first 20 years of forever. Like,
what do you think if you believe in gods, like what do you think the point of you living for like 80 years on a planet is? Like, why do you like live for a certain amount of time in this spot, but then you like go and enjoy happiness for the rest of eternity? Like, what's the point of those 80 years or whatever, 90 years? Like to like,
I don't know. I guess just to live. I don't know. I guess like what's my calling? Like what's my like? I think
No,
that
like, why to
everyone
go-
has a different like calling for what they have in their life. Like I think we all have like a different passion and a different voice that we like walk towards.
Or like, what's God's goal of putting you on a planet if we're all going to die?
I think that we all have different specific ones. I think that mine is
not
to be a good
your
mom.
destiny, but what's the point of you just being here? And even if you achieve greatness, what was the point of the greatness if you're just going to go to a better place that's not as good as the greatness that you achieved here?
I've never really thought about this. I don't know.
I could go so much deeper than this, but I'm trying to like not be like a crazy person on camera.
No, you could never be crazy.
And like freak everybody out that's watching, but I'm going to like...
I think that everyone has a different purpose to their life. And I think that's why we all have different lives and different bodies and different like born in different places with different things and different minds.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we all have like free will. And I think that my specific thing is to have kids, and yours might be to make $1 billion trillion and then like make people happy by making their hair look good. Like that might be your thing, and then mine might be like have like 3 kids that I don't know.
What's remarkable to me is that like religious people, you guys believe in it's being a better place than Earth when you die. And so I'm surprised more people don't get to that better place faster, if you know what I mean.
Right.
If you think it's way better than this, then why wouldn't you want to be there?
Well, because like I'm supposed to be here right now, and I'm not supposed to be there right now. Like if for me, since I believe in heaven, God wants me to be alive right now and do my thing. Like if he wanted me to be there, I'd be there. And I just think like choices are made for me usually.
I think definitely. I don't know if I believe in free will. But like you said, like I think choices are made for me. Like I think that I believe in that in some way. I don't think there's a physical person that's like making choices, but I think that your energy and like what you attract, like a magnet, is preset in a certain way. Way. Like it feels like you're making the decisions, but in reality, like your mind is already developed in a certain way that you couldn't control. So therefore the decisions I make are going to be different than the ones you make because of the things that are already preset in my brain that I didn't choose.
Right.
So is that free will? Because I didn't choose to have certain issues or to have certain strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
So that's not free will because I didn't choose. Like if I didn't care about like my career and like my like financial goals, I would be living an entirely different life if I didn't have that piece of my brain.
Yeah.
So that's not my choice.
But I think like the free will part is we're all dealt different cards, and how we handle those cards is what we do.
Yeah, but your brain is already preset to choose certain paths. Like you're already born with those settings.
But you chose to do hair because you like hair.
But my dad was a hairstylist.
Okay.
Like he obviously passed on some kind of gene that made my brain programmed to like beauty in a certain way and find an attraction towards like maybe towards hair, or like towards like the idealistic figure of beauty, and with that comes hair, and then I ended up falling into it because of my dad. And then it's like, is that really my free will? You're agreeing, right, that there's not free will. You're saying that there's already a plan for you.
Yeah, I think that there's a larger plan, and for me, I think God will present himself and give me things when I'm ready and when it happens. But I do think like, oh, if I wanted to like I have free will in the sense like, oh, I could go to Florida tonight, or like I have free will in the sense that I could eat a taco, or I could eat a burger, or like the smaller normal things. But I do believe that there's a certain path that I'm guided towards. But I could also like go on a million different paths from that path.
But if you had like extreme anxiety or you had an illness, you wouldn't be able to go to Florida, and that's not your decision. Right.
And I think that one thing that I've always questioned is, why do so many bad things happen to great people?
Mm-hmm. And why is life so unfair?
And like, why is life unfair to so many people? And I just think that like, I have to like, whenever I think like deeply into those things where it's like, why did this happen to this person? Why did that happen? Why, if there is a God, like what was the reasoning for this? And like, what was this, like, why do like great people go to heaven? Like why, like so early? I don't know the answer, and I just have to stop thinking about it. And I just have to believe, like the easiest thing for me to do, and like the best thing for me to do for me personally, is just believe like there is a plan and God has a plan, and that's all I can think. And like, there is hope and faith, and not necessarily like, I don't even like, not even necessarily God, just like in general, if I didn't even believe in God, I just like have to think like I have hope. Like that's it sometimes.
I think for me, I just like, since I don't think I really have a choice to like live, I mean, to have been born or like not have been born, I don't have a choice. And like humans are programmed, like I'm programmed to want to live. And like every human has that will, like we all want to live.
Hopefully.
And it's a very, very small amount of people who like actually don't want to live and do something about it. So like I don't have that part of me like that's gonna do something about it. So my thing is like, okay, so I'm not gonna do anything about that. I should just live this life like to whatever I'm programmed to like and enjoy and do the most of it, and then like whatever happens after that, whatever happens.
Yeah.
But like just kind of live. And I've been like, the older I get, the more I focus on that living part. Like the more I'm like, okay, like this thing is really not bringing me joy. Like the other day I didn't film a YouTube video, which is like crazy for me because I don't take breaks from that. And every week I make sure I film it. And it's been about a year and a half since I last took a break from filming. And I was like, you know what? I really don't feel like doing that. Like not even that I don't feel like doing it. It's like my whole being is like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, please don't film today. Like, mentally I wasn't out there. And I'm like, you know what, for the first time in my life, I'm just gonna listen to my gut feeling of just like not doing it. And maybe from not doing it, I'll have that free time to go out and experience something that I wouldn't have before, that will inspire me to do something bigger and better with my life. Otherwise I would have been sitting in front of that camera miserable,
right,
and trying to be happy, and then not opening my brain to new exciting things.
Yeah, I think listening to your gut is like a beautiful thing, and it opens so many other doors sometimes. And sometimes you have to just like get after it. And I think that's another version of free will. Like you were like, you felt like, oh, my gut says not to do this, so I'm not going to do it.
Why are we so serious today? It's like really embarrassing.
No, it's like we're like thinking
way too hard.
much.
Like I should retire my brain from thinking
literally, like,
ever
remember
again.
you
This
went
is
to-
like when I went to that dinner the other night and I got too drunk, and then I started saying too much, and this is like one of those instances where I'm just like, I need to just stop talking.
No, literally. I remember you came back from the bathroom and you're like, can I shut up for 2 seconds? And I was like, no, you're so fun and funny. And you're like, no. Like, I need to stop talking. And I feel like sometimes that's how I feel when we just have the microphone in front of us and we're like,
it's like, why?
but I think like,
but also my gut told us to be here, which is interesting.
And
so
my heart brings me, it has happiness and joy and love in it when I am here. So I feel like that is the right choice.
Like, and we're purely doing this for our own enjoyment. There's no monetary value right now on this podcast. So it's like, it's kind of a beautiful thing that we just like sit here and like do sort of a job, but like don't get paid for it.
Yeah.
And like, there's no like reason beyond just like enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
I'm really happy that you enjoy it.
I enjoy it so much. You just start crying. And that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for listening to that deep conversation.
It's so funny, like last week we ate pickles and now we're like talking about like the afterlife.
Oh God. I was gonna avoid this topic, but I love talking about it. But I also like know people don't really love hearing about it all the time, and I don't know. I have a different perspective of like, I enjoy the thought process, and it doesn't like turn me off or like give me more anxiety. I think it makes me kind of like more calm and just like, wow, like since nothing matters, like I'm gonna live life to the fullest. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
So I hope that makes you guys feel like that. I hope the conversation made you feel like that too, and not the opposite. Thank you.
Thank you,
Sophia,
guys.
and thank you guys.
Thank you, Brad.
And
I
we'll
love Brad.
see you all next time. Bye.